right?
The most important thing when it comes to training the athletes is safety. Most important. If we come in there and get hurt, what's the point?
Welcome to TSU Human Performance Sports Science Podcast, where we dive into the fascinating world of sports science and innovation, right here at Tennessee State University.
We are your hosts,
I'm Neil Monet
and Franka Sindicic, and today we are taking you on an exciting journey to educate, entertain, and keep you up to date of happenings right here on our campus.
In each episode of TSU HPSS, we'll bring you exclusive interviews with our expert faculty, coaches, student athletes, and our students from our departments who are making stride in this field.
You will gain the insights into the latest training techniques, nutrition strategies, and sports psychology breakthroughs that are now shaping the future of sports performance.
All while bringing it to you from an HBCU perspective. What's up, y'all? Today for the podcast, we're having Coach Darren Mustin with us. He's the assistant sport performance coach at TSU. What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. It's Mustin.
Mustin?
I know you said a little, that's your accent, but it's okay.
Mustin?
Mustin, and I am an assistant, but I gotta let it up there. I'm a head as well.
Okay.
There's nobody helping me with certain sports, but like, yeah, I got you on the title. That's what it says, but that's...
You actually the head sport performance coach?
Yeah, for the tennis teams, for the volleyball team, for the entire track and field. That's the throwers, cross country, sprinters, and jumpers. So yeah, I can't just be an assistant. You gotta throw my head out there, you know?
All right. So actually, let's hear a little bit more about yourself. Tell us how did you get at TSU, a little bit more about your position and what you're doing for us.
Hey, I got to TSU in the summer of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I took a journey of being a strength and conditioning coach throughout the country. I graduated undergrad in 2007 from the University of Alabama. After that, pursued the NFL. Did not make it, but got an opportunity to work out during that time. Shout out to this guy named Will Bartholomew, who's the founder of D1 Sports Training and Therapy. Walked into his office back in 2007, 2008. He was like, "Can I work out for free?" He told me no. Okay, so now what? He said you could train a class, then you could work out. Ended up training some kids, fell in love with it. And 13 years later, ended up at TSU. During that 13-year journey, I got to be a strength and conditioning coach at some really prevalent universities, institutions across the country. I've been on the West Coast, been in the East Coast, been in the Midwest, Army West Point, to your Ivy Leagues in New Hampshire and Dartmouth College, to the University of Southern California. I've been a lot of places. Also got to run my own facility in Huntsville, Alabama. So I've been on the private side and the collegiate side and got to see a lot of things. After COVID hit, I was in Southern California and, just hit home. I wanted to come home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to stay home forever, but I wanted to come home, buy a house, and then move there. So that's how I ended up at TSU. Came back to Nashville, bought a house, looking for an opportunity. The opportunity was available here, and I've been here since.
You've done a lot of stuff. So what I'm hearing is that what brought you at TSU is really being a little bit closer from home. And so you had your own facility. So how was that to go from there to being at the collegiate level?
Well, I wasn't mine. I didn't own it. It was a D1, but I was the manager for it. I made sure everything went into it, and it's a different animal. Okay. When you train people from 6 years old all the way to 60 plus years old, it's going to be different from training 18 to 22 year olds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Recovery time, the way you can put fire in somebody's butt, you could say it in that type of way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of differences, but there's no different in a squat. Squat is a squat, hinge, lunge, push, pull, carry. It's just different variations and different intensities you can use with your general population versus your collegiate athletes. But also with that general population, they don't have a coach that makes them have to come. They could just come when they want to. Say you kick their butt one day, they decide, I ain't showing up for 2 weeks because I'm sore. That's part of it. You have to play the game. You got to have some optics, got to be fancy. College sports, a little different. You miss, I'm telling coach, you in trouble. So you have to be there. It's a lot easier to program for somebody that you know is going to be there for a certain stint versus they might show up this week or they might not. So you got to that's one of the biggest differences I've learned. And I just got to be honest with you, I hate it. I don't like the general population because there's just something about me that loves athletes so much. I have such a strong passion about that young athlete that when somebody in the general pop wants to complain or start to say, well, no. You don't realize what these kids really have to go through. Mm-hmm. You don't realize some have to be up at the weight room ready to go by 6 a.m. That means they're leaving their rooms around 5:30. And they have a full day with practice and study hall. And then at the end of all that, they have to make sure everything's good to do it again the next day. Don't forget about social life. It is college. So I've seen a lot of people transition from young men or young women to young adults, from I'm lost, I don't know what to do, to somebody that's very confident in themselves. And that's why I'm a big fan of college versus the general pop. I have seen a lot of progression. You know, I've had some middle schoolers grow up to be high schoolers, grow up to college, and I've seen the progression. But it's nothing like taking a team and being responsible for a team.
Okay, so what would you say that is your coaching style when you look at all of the athletes? Is it the mission your views of coaching, is it once and you apply it to everybody, or you change it depending on the personality of the athlete?
The most important thing when it comes to training the athletes is safety. Most important. If we come in there and get hurt, what's the point? That's general pop, that's anything, it's about safety. Now, my philosophy on how I approach training is not necessarily you got to do these movements or I'm looking for that. No, it's more I'm looking for accountability. I'm looking for good attitudes. I'm looking for belief that we're trying to get better. Whatever we're doing, we're getting better. And I'm looking for communication because it's all about care. All right, those are the ABCs with me, Coach D. Attitude, accountability, believe we're trying to get better, and communicate because I care. All that other stuff, your philosophy, how you train, yes, I got triple extension, I do closed chain, I do open chain, reactive drills, closed agility drills. I do a lot of proprioception work, a lot of pillar anti-rotational with rotational. I mean, we could keep going, but it's all about being safe and being accountable to what you're doing.
So how do you manage that? How do you go through a team to another team? Are you in control of your timing schedule?
As much as I can. I understand the athletes have certain parts of the day that they're free and certain parts of the day where they're not. I have to make sure, okay, we're hitting them when they have opportunities. And like I keep saying it's the same, but the biggest difference in these is the injuries. Yeah. If we look at somebody like, let's just say tennis, you guys know about tennis, where your injuries occur. You got to worry about the ankle, some knees, hips, and shoulders, also the wrist and elbows, a lot of joint stuff we got to make sure we target. Versus, let's just look at a track sprinter. Track sprinter is never going to change left to right. They're only going to go straight. Somebody at tennis, they're going to go multi-directionals. So we have to make sure we tap into a lot of different planes when I'm training that athlete. Versus a different athlete. If they never hit a certain plane, you ain't got to touch it very much. But if they do, make sure you're touching it. Also, like injuries, that helps focus us on what we want to prevent or help or strengthen. And also communication with the athletic trainer, communication with the coach. Coaches might want them trained a certain way. Athletic trainers might not want to see certain exercises. It's all about that C, communication, because we care about these athletes. That's what it's all about.
Besides your work for the athletics, we also know that you're a student in our department and that you're also teaching in our department. So can you maybe tell us something about the teaching part of you?
Teaching part is very frustrating because you try to keep things simple. You try to help a lot of kids. And if somebody doesn't care, you can't teach them. Yeah. But if somebody cares, it's a blessing. And a lot of times I'm a teacher for what? The weight room, the weightlifting. A lot of times people don't care about weightlifting. They don't see that it's beneficial for your entire life. They don't see that if I create more lean tissue in my body, I can live longer. they don't see that. They don't see, especially females, oh, I don't want to be big and bulky. You won't. Your hormones won't allow you to do that unless you put something illegal in you. But what it will do is help you fight osteoporosis and osteopenia, the breaking down of your bones. If I can help fight that, then you can be stronger longer. Being a teacher is awesome. I think I'm a teacher when I coach. It's all about teaching what? Safety. So if I get teach the proper technique, teach why we're doing certain things, it's awesome. It's fun. When the kids don't show up, they come in with an attitude, not being very accountable, and don't believe what we're trying to do is to get better, then we can't communicate. We're not going to be cool. I'm not going to care about what you think because you're not going to care about this place. It all boils down to ABCs of the teaching or coaching and even a student. You know, I'm done. I finished my last class. I'm about to graduate. But as a student, you know, I had to make sure I got to communicate with the professor because I might be traveling with this team. Got to have a right attitude approaching classes. And I got to be accountable to the work that's being done. All right? And I got to believe what the teachers handed me or putting me through is going to better me in my future career. So my philosophy is pretty much the same as what I do.
Okay, so besides the master's degree that you're getting this December, we congrats you on that. What are the other certifications that you have as a coach?
RSCC, a registered strength and conditioning coach through the NSCA. I also have I think it's the CSCS through the NSCA. I have my CPR AED. I have and I don't really want to consider it an Alico strength and conditioning. It's just an Olympic weightlifting company. I have a little certification through there. Used to be USAW, but I just didn't keep on top of that just because I don't think I needed it at the time. But those are the main certifications I had.
And what do you think the master's degree will provide you? Will it help you in your future plans and career?
I hope it will. That is the plan. The main goal for me with that master's is to open doors. I can knock. A lot of times these doors wouldn't be allowed to be opened because I didn't have a certain degree. Okay, now that I have that degree, these doors that I knock on now can be opened. I have a key to open these doors. It's still about networking, still about communicating. That's one of the biggest ways to do anything. Somebody told me once, relationships are greater than gold, and when you get older, you'll start recognizing that. But the master's was to open doors.
Okay, and besides masters, are you planning on doing maybe PhD?
Heck no.
Okay.
If anybody hates school, it's this guy. I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe one day I'll be. Look, I graduated at undergrad in 2007.
I was about to ask.
It's 2023. And I just now. Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm all about making the most of where I am.
Yeah. Okay.
And before I got here, I was making 3 times the amount of money than I am making now. Literally triple. So if I'm going to be here in Nashville because I want to be home, I better make the most of the situation I'm at. All right? So I sacrificed personal training time to get my master's. I figured that's going to weigh more in the future than I could personal train. I could personal train every night. I dropped all my clients, pursued my master's to open some more extra doors so I can be elevated more of a position of influence. Right now, don't have the greatest position of influence if I want to create change throughout a university. Okay. Influence is power. I want more power.
Fair enough. That would be great. Can you be athletic director here?
Please.
I'm not gonna put nothing on wax right now. I've never been an AD, but I would love the opportunity. Being in the position I'm in, I've got to see and hear the voice of the little people in the organization. I also understand the vision of the big people from being at all these universities. So the goal is, and the little fire that went up my butt is, I've seen how certain things and certain people are treated in the organization, so it motivated me to try to get a degree to get more influence.
Okay. I personally just want to ask you, what is something that you struggle the most as a strength conditioning coach and maybe still struggling with?
One of the biggest things is networking. I get caught up in this is what we need to do, this is what I need to do, and I need to reach out. Not necessarily to others to see what other people are doing, but just to reach out to open and create and grow my network, just so it can help my net worth. The bigger your network, the bigger your net worth can possibly or potentially be. All right, another thing is planning. All right, future planning, long-term planning is sometimes very difficult as a strength and conditioning coach because things happen. Weather happens, illnesses happen, coaches change schedule out of nowhere. They feel a certain type of way. Well, I'm going to do this with them today because they need this. Well, you could have had something planned to program in a certain way, but now you must adjust because if you do that again, you're going to hurt somebody. You got to make sure. I've done this so long that I can adjust. I call myself a chameleon. I'll blend in and adjust to any situation. But it's more beneficial to have a long-term plan. But every single place I've been, I have seen not one program written perfectly be set for the entire year. I have never seen that happen. It always changes. So you have to be able to adjust based on what you see. Nervous systems are real in people. You might have it down that they're supposed to hit 90% this day, and they come in looking like, "What? Who are you? Did you sleep?" "No, I didn't sleep." "Why not?" "I kind of broke up with my girlfriend last night. I was on the phone. I haven't eaten, and I don't feel right." You better not put that player under that 90% load unless you want to hurt them. Then you got to adjust. Maybe you have to go down to 75%. And up in volume a little bit just to get the same stimulus out of the athlete. Life happens. Can't always long-term plan, but you got to be able to adjust.
Okay, that's very true. I like the saying of my first coach in US. She always used to say, "No excuses, make adjustments." And I can see it a lot in you, especially when you work with our team, because you're also our coach as well. And just to close up, I mean, we have 2 more questions, but what is something that you would recommend to our department to improve the growth, since you are also working for our department and being a student in our department? Do you have any recommendations, any positive or negative feedbacks for it?
I think at our department, one thing that we can do at the head level, like the professors and people who run in the department, a little more diversity. I mean, when I stood in front of the panel to present my comp exams, I saw no one that looked like me, and I'm at a HBCU.
Yeah.
I saw hardly any of my professors. Dr. Oshira, she's a little Asian lady, one of my favorite. Dr. Malmo, he's gone. I don't know, he wasn't white, he wasn't black, he was Middle Eastern. I just want to see a little more diversity, and I would like to see the professors that I actually interact with around a little bit more.
Okay.
I love the people that are here, but not all of them taught me. I want to sit down with people who were my professor and be like, "Okay, this is what you did. This is where I'm going. Can you help me get there? Because you know who I am. You see me in your classroom." A lot of times the professors don't really see you in the classroom, so how can they really put you on their resume as a recommendation or anything if you don't really know them? If you really know the person, like, "Hey, I had class with Darren. He gonna come across a little crazy, but he's passionate, he's accountable, but just don't be rubbed wrong when you first see him because he's just full of energy." That's just him. They can tell you that. If somebody who's never met me before gonna say he's a hothead, no, he's just a go-getter. And if it's not working in the way he wants to work, he gonna try to figure out to get, working with people for a long time builds relationships, and I feel like I have very strong relationships with the heads at this department.
One more question. I wanted to ask you, what is one thing you're the most proud of as a student, as a coach, and as a professor?
What am I most proud of? Let's start as a student. Hey, 4.0, baby. Hey, look. I feel like it's my transcript from my undergrad. Yeah. Did I even go to class type? What was I doing? Now I'm a 4.0 now. You can't take that from me. Straight A's, baby. Oh, student as a teacher. One thing I'm proud of as a teacher is I can actually see some people come in and have proper technique. One of the hardest things I think to teach is a hinge. Not only will they come in and know what a hinge is, they can perform a hinge properly. And I actually saw students help other students in the class to be safe on the lifts. That's one of the things I'm really proud of. When I come into a room and I have something scheduled and they all look like they're doing the actual exercises I prescribed. One thing as a strength coach I can judge you off of, if you have squat written in the program and I look down the row and I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if it's a half squat, quarter squat. Are we doing good mornings? I'm not sure what that athlete's doing. Then are you a good coach or not? Or if I look down, we have squats and everybody's doing a squat and you do not have to guess. That's a squat. Yeah, then we're good. It all looks safe. That's one of my highest accomplishments as a coach. When you come in and you be like, this is what we have. And you look down and it's boring. You can't coach. You be like, I can yell, but I don't want to. That person looks good. That person everybody looks like they're doing what they're supposed to do. All right. I guess I'll figure out what to play next on the music. That's when I'm proud. If I've been coaching you for years and you still making the same mistakes with no results and you keep looking like you're going to hurt yourself, then I failed you. If I can teach you, be like, do this, and you look great at it, yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much for this, for coming in as a guest.
I got a question for y'all now. Y'all ready? Shooting at the hip.
Okay.
Okay. Why do you guys want to do this? I mean, you go both are foreign, not from America. What's one of the main things you want to take from TSU, take you back home? The good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is I can build on it. TSU has this strong culture. You can't take my words. The bad is certain things happen. We can fix that. The ugly is something that should never happen again. So you guys as student athletes now in the master's program at the Tennessee State University in Nashville, both foreign, what is some good, bad, and ugly you could take from this, I wouldn't say situation, but this, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Experience?
Yeah.
What can you take good and bad and ugly from this experience and take it from you? Neil, you first.
All right, so my goal is to be actually exactly what you are right now, a strength and conditioning coach, maybe a little bit more specialist in tennis because that's what I do. The good thing that I would bring at home with me is give people opportunity to show what they got. So basically, at home, you can't get as much opportunity as you getting here, right? I was able to spend a week with an NFL team. I was able to get some internship here and there. I was able to find some job where I could do what I love to do, which is coaching, right? Really, it's really what I enjoy here. The fact that I can actually have a dream, have a plan, and actually think that I can do it, right? When I'm home, I feel like it's so hard to do everything. But here, I feel like everything is possible. Like some of my friends right now, they got internship with NFL, with the Titans. They got internship with the professional soccer team. And one of them actually got the job. Like she's going to be, I don't know if you know, but Brianna, you probably had her. Yeah. She signed to be the strength conditioning coach next year for the team. Right. So it's crazy to me to see that students and people at my age already able to work with professional team. For me, it's like you can never do this in another 10 years, I don't know, of experience. So I just feel like I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want if I get the right certifications. If I just talk to the right people, I can get anywhere, right? And that's what I like about it. That's what I'm gonna try to bring home, this confidence and like also all the experience that I'm gonna get here for sure. That's what I would bring at home. Maybe like give people more opportunities to like coach and do more. The bad thing that would need some improvement that I learned from here, I don't know. Let me think about that.
Yeah, you were really young.
I was not ready.
Yeah.
Let me think about this. I had the first one. Let me think about the ugly and the bad one. I let Frank do that.
Bad is something you can build on.
Okay.
It could be, for you, tennis courts.
Yeah.
The tennis courts can be fixed.
Yeah.
Which can create more opportunity for you to personal train.
To play better.
To be here. To get more practice here.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take it. Ugly could be, what's the name of your athletic trainer right now? That's ugly. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to step on no toes, but if we're going to do this, let's do this.
I think that would be the bad one. But that's on my side. On my side, like, I feel like on the treatment side, I don't like to go to the athletic trainer. I feel like I'm getting exactly the same thing if I go to the weightlifting room. So I feel like I can treat myself, right? Basically, it's the lack of equipment. I don't know exactly what it is, but I don't feel like I need to go to the athletic trainer. I just don't go anymore. I don't go at all. If I go, it's really because I've tried everything and I can't figure out what I can do more. So I go once every month. And they never expect me because I don't book any appointment. I just go and that's it. What about you?
So the good thing that I would like to take with me in Croatia is just the overall program for student athletes and allowing students here to be an athlete at the same time, because at home that is literally impossible. So I would love to provide some sort of schooling like that at home. And then also, because I understand your point of view, working with athletes is completely different world than working with just the general population. I would really love to work with athletes, but unfortunately I wanted to be in Croatia. I mean, it's fortunate for me, but I know that some people would like to provide me that same dream here. But my dream place to live is Croatia. And about the bad thing here is the struggle that students have to go through when they want something, whether it's administration-wise or just like getting some things done. I do agree that there has to be always a little bit of struggle just so we know how to worship hard work, but sometimes it's a little bit too much of struggle due to lack of communication of people that work in the athletics or just in general in the admissions in this school. And then the ugly thing is that I really don't like whenever I walk in the hallways towards the trainer's room is the pool. When I see the pool that it's not touched in I don't know how many years, and whenever I see my teammates and other athletes being injured, and I know how much that water can help them and improve their skills. And we can also practice, like, power is great. If you jump from the water out, it can improve your power a lot, and we can just do actually like recovery days in that pool. So I would definitely build up from there, and I would definitely fix that pool also first. I mean, besides the tennis courts as well, but I would really love to fix that swimming pool. So that is from my point of view.
I need to go back.
No, you don't force it.
But
Of course, if you just feel motivated from what Franca said, what you just gotta say. I'm just talking.
No, I don't have much to say, really.
Any other questions?
No, that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Yep. And have a good day.
All right. Thank you.